Hi, welcome to the 580th edition of The Pursuit of Truth, assuming that I've numbered them all correctly. So, a bit of a depressing one. I wanted to put across, because when people, this morning I was thinking about it when I woke up, about how perception people have of the UK or England or the West of being this wealthy place. I mean, it is. It is wealthy somewhere. It is apparently in the top 10, top 7, I think, of the wealthiest nations. Yet only that 1% will know about any of that money. So I don't know if it's because of movies or, when people come to this country, they think it's going to be this great country, and when they get here, they find out, oh, it's not actually much different from where you came from, and that's much the same inequalities and injustices, and there is obviously some things that are better, like the NHS or benefits and etc. The wage, although I don't think it is in some countries. It seems like a lot of money, but everything's so expensive here that it doesn't actually work out, because in more poorer countries the wage is more equivalent to actual buying things, so therefore it's harder to get a house in this country. But in a poorer country, as long as you've got a good job, then it's easier to do that, or mortgages etc. They're not so taxed, and yeah. So I don't know why I wanted it, just came into my mind about talking about this. I guess it's because of the cost of living crisis and how difficult it is now to live, to pay bills when everything is going up, except your wage, or it's not going up at the same scale. When they always talk about inflation and things, the problem is like everything goes up. Food goes up, travel goes up, petrol goes up, train fares goes up, electricity, water, gas, council tax, and all these things go up. You get a percentage, and it doesn't cover all of these things. It probably doesn't even cover one of them. And then I guess this is why I talk about on the Pursuit of Truth, my not liking of money in the system. I guess from a personal level, it doesn't benefit me or those around me, or when I see the little people, as it were. I don't know why I call them little people, but that's the terminology, isn't it, in literature, of us all suffering because we have to find this money, and it's so difficult, and like it depresses you and keeps you up at night. I mean, I'm always worrying about, if it wasn't for my bank and the overdraft, which I live in, I don't know how long I've been living inside my overdraft. Even when the money comes in, it just digs me out of that hole so I can just see over the top, and then I'm back under again. And what that must do to your mentality, and I feel it, so I'm sure there's lots of people that end up committing suicide and get really depressed and go to drugs and drink and alcohol and lose their houses, or go to the streets or whatever, or off grid, because it's so draining. And so this is why I talk about these things, because this constraint, this problem we're giving ourselves, this headache, as it were, is man-made. The fact that we're all given existence, we're babies, and we're taught that we have to earn money to be able to live. And even these jobs, they don't pay you living wages. So even unless you get a good enough job, the money you're getting, you're doing all the hard work, your blood, sweat and tears, as they say, and yet you can't even pay your bills, not even scratch your bills, let alone with anything else. and you end up being in debt. I mean, it's very good for the banks. It's very good for the businesses, isn't it? Maybe this is the way, why it's kept this way, why salaries aren't worked out. Because why isn't it that salaries can't be, that everyone gets a salary of, living wage, or what would that be, £30,000, £40,000 a year. Everyone gets that. And those people, I suppose in the real world, you wouldn't have any money, because what's the point of money? Money just puts constraint. But if you had to live with this stupid system of money, then you could do it like that. And then people who have higher skilled jobs, or actually sitting down and getting other people to do the jobs for them, who have the 1%, as it were, who come up with all the ideas or steal all the ideas from the other people, and just luckily are billionaires. They could get their money from the tree, as it were, and then at least everyone would have a better existence. But the thing is that what's the reason why it doesn't happen? Why is it? Because obviously those in power, those with money, I mean, maybe it isn't any kind of like a machination. It's just as it were, and no one wants to change it, keep the status quo. But I guess it does benefit, because if you were earning £50,000, maybe you wouldn't want to clean the sewers. Maybe you wouldn't want to go to post at 5 a.m. in the cold and the rain. Maybe you wouldn't want to take a 2-hour commute. Maybe you wouldn't want to do all these things. Maybe then we would actually streamline working, as it were, because most of what we do is working isn't actually beneficial or essential for humanity. Like the frivolous things. I mean, having a million different soaps, or a million different types of car, or a million different clothes because of a label. All these things that they're here because of money and competition, because someone says, I want to be a designer, so I design a car, or design clothes, or I design a washing powder, and I want to make money, so this is my different one, and I have a different company and a logo. It's like being a fucking child. But in the adult world, make and pretend. But it's not make pretend, because it's called life. Even though we are pretending of these things. And then, so maybe if we did do all that, and then we would streamline and stop wasting human energy on unnecessary things. There should be just a few different cars, and all of them good. Everyone could be driving a Mercedes or a BMW or a Bentley or a Rolls or whatever the best car is. The only reason why we have different values of cars and all these different series, same with phones and TVs and everything, is the same thing that I just said there. It's because each different business wants to cater to each different audience. So the ones who don't have enough money, they buy the lower ones. The ones that have the most money, they buy the bigger ones. And that's why we have these different scales of different things. But it's a waste. It's a waste of our energy. A car should just be a mode of transport. Same as like t-shirts or clothes should just be for keeping you warm. Or washing powder just for cleaning. You don't need all these different things. They're not essential. Yeah, maybe you want different smells or things or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. But you don't need 10 different washing powder companies producing the same product but with a different name on it. Even you get businesses like Procter & Gamble and etc., where they manufacture for these smaller shops the cheap brands that you get. They're actually the same company makes the branded one. This is what's going on. How fucking stupid are we? Really, when you list this all out, when you think about it all. I mean, if you're God and you created us and you came back and looked back and you saw how things were, you'd think, what the... Well, obviously, blaspheme, would he? But why are my creation, who have every freedom, who have every resource that they possibly need, why are they wasting their time, hours of their energy around the world producing things that they don't really need? Why aren't they concentrating their energy on the things they do need? Like sorting out that every single person has a great education, every single person has a home, every single person has good medical care, that we live a healthy existence, a nice existence. There's nothing stopping us from doing these things other than that, unfortunately, we're in this system now, this time bubble, and we don't want to burst it. It's not that it's too difficult. We go through, people fight in wars. That's difficult. Like what's going on in Ukraine and Russia now, wading in mud, like the First World War in tanks, shooting each other, human beings shooting other human beings, just because in their brain they have a perception that this bit of land is Ukraine, this bit of land is Russia. And yet no one can possess anything. No one can take it with them when they're dead. Fighting for, someone who's sitting in a bunker. I mean, it's just ludicrous, really, what we're doing, and so depressing when you think about all these things, all these little nuances of inequalities and sufferings that we're putting ourselves through because we don't need to. Tell me why we need to do this. Tell me why we need to keep this system. Yeah, I guess, I do think about this sometimes, like what if it was overthrown, like January the 6th in Donald Trump, and, the problem is the people that would overthrow probably aren't the people you want in control. They're probably much similar to the people in power. They just want power as well, or they're probably worse. And then we get into anarchy or some kind of, dystopia, where then people will be wishing for the old ways back again. What we really need is the people that really care about humanity, Ubuntu, that care about humanity and all of us living everything, curing diseases, spending our time in curing diseases, on building infrastructure, on finding where we all should live, bits of land that we shouldn't live in because they're not good for us to live in, because of toxins or because of floods or because of, weather conditions, etc. There's enough space for the 7 billion or whatever billion there is now of us. There's enough food, there's enough resources if we don't waste it on all these unnecessary things. Even the waste that we do, there's still enough for us all. But if we cut down, also that would help the planet as well. If the climate change is real, it would help all that kind of stuff. It would help focus us. That's what we should be doing. Imagine if this was children doing this, wasting their time doing these things. You want to focus them on the main thing of that. At first, everyone should be living a beautiful existence, this life. There's one chance we all get. There's one taste. We should all be living a great life. And there's no reason why we shouldn't. We all should be able to be productive, but productive in an essential way for humanity that benefits us all. In finding cures, in building roads, building houses, all these things that we do already now that we need to, but in a way that we do it together. Not for money or competition. Money goes. Money goes. We don't need money. We don't need an incentive. Those people who want to do the things, there will always be people that will want to do things. Look at charities. Look at how we work. People do jobs, they don't for a small amount of money. It doesn't really help them. There will always be those people who don't want to help. But maybe they'll find something that they do want to do. And maybe the reason they don't want to help is because the chances of what they want to do, they can't do. Maybe this person, he doesn't want to go and work in an office. What he really wants to do is be, something else that he couldn't get because of his education, because of money, because of those kind of restraints. We won't have that anymore. Whatever's your passion, you can go for and you can train. And if you succeed in getting that training and it works, and then you can go and do that job. As opposed to it's because of your position, there won't be you can't do this job. Everyone who wants to do the job can do the job, as long as they do the training and prove that they can do it. And then we won't have the problem that we have in a lot of industries and a lot of public sectors where people are doing things that they're not really good at and are bringing things down. We won't need to have private and public schools. We won't need to have teachers that really shouldn't be teaching because they're not good enough, or people in social care that don't really care, or in the NHS or wherever. All these things will be eradicated because we will just be asking people, what do you want to do? And those people who know what they want to do will stand up and want to do it. For humanity, your incentive will be the love of humanity. And we'll stop seeing ourselves in these little bubbles of bits of land. Yeah, we'll have names for places. That's just so we know where we're going. But we won't own them. No more passports. We'll build everywhere the same. Every single piece of land, wherever people are living, will all have the houses and the hospitals and everything that everyone needs. There's no reason not to have this. We have enough space. When we get rid of these stupid statues and old buildings that we keep there from immemorial, just because Shakespeare sat in there or whatever, these things are unnecessary. They're stopping us from progressing. Statues of people that have long since gone, that probably, if they open their mouth today, would offend everyone. We need to stop all that hero worship and stuff like that. And, like if we've got space for these things, fine. If you really want to have that, maybe a more honest, truthful history of the shit that we've been doing to ourselves and each other. But if it's stopping us from having enough houses for everyone, well, I suppose the thing is that when we get rid of all these unnecessary businesses that are just doing things just to get money and competing, we'll have a lot of space left. So I don't believe that there isn't enough land on this place that we found ourselves to have houses and hospitals and everything for every schools, a great infrastructure everywhere for everyone. We may have to move people around, but then of course there won't be that need for, there won't immigration to be gone, because every country will be as good as the other one. I don't know how we're going to put people in charge and power, because the problem is I don't know how to solve that problem, because that's the problem. That's the big problem that puts in the situation is people getting in control and losing their heads, and then lose and getting love of power rather than love of humanity. I don't know how we would govern ourselves and each other in a way that would stop the brown envelopes, would stop the corruption and the I'm only going to do things because it benefits me or the people or my friends or money or all those greed, possession, all that kind of stuff. I don't know how we would untrain ourselves that, and how we would govern so that everyone would have a home. There wouldn't be homeless people. There wouldn't be all these crimes, because the reason for crimes is money. The reason for drugs is because of the state of the world and how difficult it is. All these things would go away. We would have I know it seems like heaven I'm talking about. Maybe at some point in Earth's history, we did have this and we lost it. But what I know people are going to say, this will never happen. Like he's out with the fairies or hippie or whatever. But just tell me what's wrong with us all living in this kind of place. It should be, perfection is never attained. It should be strived to, isn't it? So this is what we should be striving to for each other, because it would benefit each other. Imagine a world where we wouldn't have poverty, where we wouldn't have children dying early, where we would have cured these diseases because we've actually working together rather than competing against each other or shelving them because it doesn't make a financial gain. Imagine everyone having a house, a home, a family, all these things. Hospitals, living life as long as you possibly can, each one of us. Some people already have what I'm describing. These are the 1%, the millionaires, the billionaires have a taste of this, but they still don't have the same. They don't know exactly what I'm talking about, because if you live like this, imagine how your heart, your mind would be at being all one. Knowing you go to another country and you don't see people on the streets begging, or children in cardboard boxes. Imagine how your heart and mind would be, how much at peace you would be. Why wouldn't anyone want us to get to that place that I'm talking about? Why isn't everyone talking about that? Why isn't it religious people, people in power, or philanthropists, can't even say it, people who care about humanity? Why aren't they talking about getting to this place? Why? Why aren't you? For yourself, or your children, or your children's children, or your brothers, your sisters, or for those people you see all the time suffering. Take care, take it easy, blessed and peace.